Hello, I'm the Brit.
I'm the wife, and this is our Polish life.
Our Polish life in Poland from England. And how we're fitting in, how we're learning the language, how we're learning the culture, documenting it week by week.
Every single day.
Today, I got given a sweetie in the
In
post
the post office.
I was very happy.
He made everybody smile.
I think they thought I was a little bit special in the head.
They know that. It's minus 26 to minus 23 degrees in this Lee. Here comes Lee, who thinks it's spring or summer. He's wearing a t-shirt and trousers.
I do make people stop and stare.
They do.
I walk through town and I did have some trousers on today.
You did. I mean, the lady in Castorama, she said that she was trying to have a conversation with you, that you must be feeling the cold because now you're wearing trousers.
No, I've got noticed, haven't I, because of my dress sense, I guess. And, I went into Castorama the other day and I did understand what she said. I was quite pleased with myself. And I was saying, spodnie. I know kurtki is shorts, and spodnie are trousers. And she was kind of saying, kurtki. I said, spodnie. So we kind of had a basic conversation, which was really nice. So people locally see me as this idiot abroad, don't they?
They don't. But they smile. You make them smile.
The ladies in the post office gave me sweeties and they said I'd warm them up and...
Dobra, powiem. A to pan rozpalił. Dziękujemy, panie Grzesiu. Super.
That was our builder. He just walked in. We'll leave that in. It doesn't matter, does it?
He's lovely. He's just the best.
The best. He's just
we
so
do
nice.
have the best builder ever. He made fire because it's so cold. He made
is that
fire.
What he said?
He said, "Will you check it in about half an hour?"
And this is something I don't understand about Polish people. It is cold, but they just constantly want the heat on. They constantly want it to be like a sauna in the house. Wrap up. I mean, I walk into town and I generally have got a short sleeve shirt on. And today I did have a body warmer on because it was minus 23. Everyone else has got hat, gloves. You can just see the eyes, walking like this. They've got
Even when
scarves
you drive in
around
the car, they just can see.
It's just these little Polish eyes looking like this. And as I walk through town, you can see the eyes go, like that, and especially the old people, they turn, don't they? And they stare. And we've come home. To me, the house is perfectly warm.
No.
You're sitting here with a blanket.
I got a blanket. I got a hot coffee.
Yeah, well, that's given. You've got to have a hot coffee.
Yeah, you got to have a hot coffee.
And our builder was obviously upstairs working, feeling
my hands
cold.
were freezing. My feet were frozen. I asked our little builder. Well, he's not
He's
little
not little,
anymore.
no, he's huge. He looks like he wants to wrestle a bear. He's massive.
To connect the radiator in one of the rooms where you and Lucy sleep, because I walked in there yesterday and it was freezing.
It wasn't.
Oh, it was just so cold. Too cold for a 5-year-old girl.
She doesn't moan. She's hard like me. She's tough like me. She's not like you.
She hasn't really got the saying in the whole thing.
Do you know what? Not once does she wake up in the night saying I'm cold. I need the heat on. She woke up in the night saying my eyes are a little bit itchy because it's so dusty in this house. Really.
It's not that dusty.
Oh, it is dusty.
It's just really cold.
We're having a lot of renovations done, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the builder will finish on Friday. And we'll have a little celebration with
We're
them.
going to have a Viencowe.
Yeah, we're going to sit down. What's Viencowe?
Viencowe is like when you celebrate the end of something and the beginning of something new.
Yeah, which is great because he's going to end here. He's going to go to Gdansk. He's going to fit out a place for us there. Then he's going to come back here and fit our kitchen off. So we're making progress here in Poland. We are enjoying it. We are loving it, and we're making friends and we're meeting people. And I think just being that little bit different helps us kind of stand out a little bit. And the ladies in the post office, they said I warmed them up today.
It was the nicest experience I had in our post office. They're normally quite grumpy and they don't really want to talk to you. It's like the stump next kind of thing, but they were really chatty today.
I think it was quite early that time. There wasn't a massive queue, was there? And they see me standing there, and it's just a conversation starter. So me being a bit of an idiot helps make friends, I think, in Poland. But we have done well here. We have made friends here. We've got to know people here, and whilst we keep our circle small, because we don't want to be sort of
celebrating every day of the week.
No, we've got a lot of things we want to do personally. We've fitted in, and it just shows that if you come to another country and you're open-minded, you put yourself out there, you try, you're comfortable being a little bit different, and it doesn't bother you. It will open conversations. I could wrap up like every other Polish person here, could look exactly the same as everybody, and not have that conversation because it just wouldn't stand out a little bit. So I think just being a little bit different helps you in some ways.
I think You also need to try and be yourself and don't try too hard to fit in, because people, if they meant to accept you and love you, it's better when they love you for who you are, not for who you're trying to be.
I like that. And if you come over here and don't expect other people to change for you, and you don't need to change for them, just be yourself, respect people, respect the culture, you're going to have a lovely life here. I do honestly believe that. And the next thing is to try to learn a language, and I've really got to up my game with that. And I'm starting, and I've been doing a lesson pretty much every day now, and learning a lot of like the slang, the street talk. I think that's kind of easier for me to learn. It's the vocabulary here, the panny, the panu, or the mal, the masculine thing. That kind of gets me down a little bit. It confuses the hell out of me. So I'm just trying to learn a few phrases that's going to get me by, and that I can use every day.
What have you learned so far?
Siema.
Siema, yeah.
Sotam.
Siema albo Siema.
Yeah, Siema. I like the word Siema. I like Siema. You know, just flick your chin, Siema. Sounds confident. You know, it's what's up. That kind of thing, isn't it? It's like, you know, how are you, kind of what's up. And I just attack the pravda.
Tak naprawdę?
Tak naprawdę. There's lots of little phrases I'm kind of learning and trying to put it into how I talk, and hopefully it will allow me to have some decent conversations. What do you think?
I think you have made a lot of progress, and sometimes you just need to give yourself a pat on the back, because you put yourself down a lot about the fact you're not speaking fluently and this and that. Polish is a really difficult language. It really is. And I've noticed that you try speaking Polish a lot more. Where before, when we see somebody, you would just say something in English thinking they know exactly what you say, but you are trying to speak Polish. Even with my mom and dad yesterday, when you ate the food, you said bardzo dobre, rather than this is really good, and stuff. And that's how you learn, trying to talk, getting yourself out there, talking to the lady in Castorama about spodnie, krótkie spodnie, długie spodnie, and stuff. And maybe that's you need to go shopping on your own more often.
I think being out around Polish people in that environment where they're speaking Polish is very, very good. And we don't get out as much as we'd like to, because the builder's here and we're working from here. But once that's over, I think we'll venture out a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I'll take the lead a little bit more and try to do things. And it is happening. You know, I went to Castorama with Greg. His car wouldn't start, would it? So I had to go and sort of give him a jump. And then we see the carpenter there, and well, you wasn't there, but I see the carpenter there, and Cześć Michał, and Sotam. And,
Michał doesn't speak any English, does he? So he's the best teacher you can get.
Yeah.
The same with our builder, because they don't speak English, so you really have to try hard to communicate.
Yeah, the postman come in today. He literally just walks into the house. I still find that quite strange.
What, the postman didn't even ring the bell?
No, he rang the bell, but they don't give you time to answer the door. You'll ring the bell here and then walk in. And, you know, the bell's rung, okay. And I wasn't slouching, you know, I was only in the kitchen, I stood up. But by the time I got to the...
But let's face, you are a bit slow, honestly. Sometimes I could get 10 things done whilst you're still doing the first one.
I take my time.
You do take your time, but sometimes you just need to speed up. It's like with the builder, he is in the freezing cold, waiting for you. By the time you go to the toilet, by the time you put your winter boots on, by the time you put your gloves, they have to be put on in a specific way. By the time you actually get into the car, I've got 3 calls saying, is he coming? Is he going to get here? I'm so cold.
And I think that is a difference between Poland and England. Polish people expect things to be done there and then. It's like, if they're coming at 1, they will be there either bang on the door or early. It's very rare that I've seen people turning up late.
I really like that about our culture.
I don't.
We are reliable, yes. I do. It's like today.
I don't want to say I don't like it. I'm not used to it.
You're not used to it because you English people are so laid back. Everything is mañana, mañana, which is what Bella used to say. Everything for you is mañana. It doesn't have to be now. And I can see the face you pull sometimes. Like today, I asked the builder to connect the radiator so the house could be a bit more warm. It's like down to minus 30 degrees, and it is really cold. And he says, well, if you want me to do it, I need this, this, this. Me, like a soldier, yes, I'm going to Castorama, I'm going to get it. You think, shit, we were supposed to be doing things. She's going again.
Because people expect you to drop things instantly.
But then you also need to know what needs to be done. Like, we won't have the builder in here from next week. So whatever he agrees to do, it's for our benefit. Like with the post box, you would take a few hours to do that post box. You would be sweating, you would be moaning, you would end up with 10 extra holes
For
in the
context,
thingy.
she talks as if you know what we're talking about. What she's talking
It's
about
done.
is there's a letterbox she wants fitted to the wall outside.
Yeah.
To Aga, to the builder, it's the number one priority. We've got to have the letterbox. It's got to be
got
done
done.
now.
To Lee,
To me,
it's not.
It's not a
He
priority.
can be pottering around the house, spend an hour on his phone, doing the comments, going to the toilet, making a coffee. To me, it's done. He can do it a lot better. He needs a bit of help. You put your winter shoes on, you put 2 sets of gloves, off you go. And it's done.
It's done. But
The
it
key
didn't
box
have
that
to
we
be
have
done.
in the thingy, it wouldn't be done for the next 6 months if I didn't kindly ask the builder to
Of course
do
it
it.
would. It would be done when it was
No,
important
there's a box
to be
in my
done.
mum's flat that's been sitting in there for over a month.
You can see the
Still
difference.
waiting.
You can see the difference here. They expect things to be done instantly. It's weird. I don't kind of get it. I really don't. You know, I do things when it's important, when I really want to do it, and that's how I live my life. I got friends in England. You know, we talk every now and again. I got a friend Alan. He texts me New Year's Day, Happy New Year. I texted him back yesterday.
Mañana.
February, you know, but he's okay with that. It doesn't matter to him. It's like, you know, we pick up the conversation. It's like nothing.
People get upset in here when you don't.
And people get so upset in here if you don't phone back instantly or text instantly. It's really weird. You know, 2 months it took me to text Alan back. Now, when I text him back, there's no problem. You just pick up the conversation. We have a chat. Might be another month before we hear from each other. It's a different way of life. It has to be done now in Poland, or if possible, yesterday. In England, it's not like that.
No, it's not.
It's really not. And I kind of tried I'm going to get back to people, I'm going to do it. I can't, it's just too hard.
I think that's down to the thinking, you know, like I can feel myself always trying to make the most of the situation and stuff. So it's like you went to Castorama to help the builder and you didn't think about anything else rather than getting out of the house, jumps from me. It's like, the builder is there with his car. Lee's going to help him out. There's going to be the car that is available. Let's pick up the doors. Let's pick up the door frames
Which
at
we
the same
did.
time, which we did. But it wouldn't even cross your mind that we could do it.
Of course it would.
Of course it wouldn't, because everything is a bloody mañana for you. I think if it was down to you managing all these projects, we would still have 80% of Borovikova to finish.
Borovikova is a house we bought.
10% of this upstairs in the house done. And it would be like, yeah, it's fine, it's okay.
No, I don't agree. I think it would still get done in a more relaxed and more efficient
No,
way.
not a chance.
I think it would have got done a lot quicker because we wouldn't have just dropped things we was doing to run after somebody else that needed something straight away. We would have been a lot more organised, a lot more professional. And you got to understand, I used to build properties. I used to deal with properties for years, and it always got built, Aga. It always got completed.
It could be done a lot quicker. I'm sure it
See,
could.
this is a difference. and there is a real difference. There is a real difference. And it is, I think there's that Polish mentality. We do it and we do it now. Forget everything you're working on. We do it now. And I'm scratching my head thinking, but I'm doing this. And she's like, right, stop that. Get over there and do that. And it's like, but I want to do this. And
So he gives me the eyes, I get the arm. Like, I'm like, how dare you giving me the eyes?
How dare you not do what I say? How dare you continue doing what you was doing and enjoying and not do this new thing that's come up instantly that needs doing straight away? And I see it with Polish people. They're just, boom, so-and-so needs something. Okay, let's just dump this. Let's run over there. Let's do that. And then let's come back and pick this up. Me, I'm a little bit, no. I'm working on this. I'm going to finish this and I'll do it in my own time. And when I finish that, I'll go over to that. No. It's more relaxed.
But it doesn't work, especially when
does
you've got...
work. How can you say it doesn't
because, like, when you've got other people who put aside their time to help you out with something that you need, they don't need to do it. You need them to help you out with it.
I don't need it there and then.
But they don't have their schedule based on, Lee now has got 5 minutes.
No. That's the thing, isn't it? See, if I go and ask someone for a favour, it's very much, when you've got time, could you help me with this?
And they do it straight away, so they don't
Yeah,
forget.
I know, but they do. And I'm grateful they do that. But I don't ask them to drop everything they're doing
But they
to
do.
come and help. But when people want something, it's like, we do it now. It's like, but I was working on this. Surely
You
when
can
I've got
stop.
time, I'll come and help you.
No, but you always say that you need to take breaks throughout the day. So
But it's not taking a break, is it, to go and help someone?
It's the kindness of getting me away from the PC.
It's a real difference in planning and organisation and mentality. I think English people, maybe English people are a little bit more selfish than Polish people.
Oh,
in,
yes, they
in
are.
respect to their time. We're going to work on what we're going to work on, and I'll help you when I've got the time. Here, it's okay. I'm working on this. You need some help. I'll just stop that and I'll come and help you. And that is nice. It's got value. Don't get me wrong, but I don't expect anyone to stop everything they're doing just to come and help me. I don't.
No.
You know, help me when you've got time.
Well, that's not true, because when you want me to do something, you just want it to be done now.
Well, it's different. You're my wife.
It doesn't matter.
Yes,
It's like,
you have
no,
to
it's
love,
a bit...
honour and
no.
obey me, don't you?
No,
Do you
I
remember
don't.
those vows?
No,
Do
I
you remember those
don't.
vows?
No. But then when I want something from you, I have to ask you 5 times, and then I get the yamp, and I'm like, okay, that's it. This is the last time I'm asking you to help me with that.
I do respond every 6 attempts. You know, that's
And that needs to change.
7th then, yeah.
No,
Okay.
3,
Oh,
up to
okay.
3.
But you know, it's just little intricacies. There's tiny little differences that kind of, in the big scheme of things, it's no big deal, is it? It's not like oh, this is awful, I can't cope with this or anything. You just have to adapt, and sometimes that's a bit of give and take. And you know, I think actually with my business, I would have, if we was a bit more selfish with my time when I first come here, we would have been ahead of where we are in the business now. Oh, totally.
Oh, with the business, yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. So, you know, it's trying to find that balance. What works for you, what works for others, trying to get them to understand your point of view, you understand their point of view, and trying to find some sort of happy medium. But you can't expect it to happen overnight. Boundaries have to be put in place. People have to learn how you want to live your life. They have to learn, you know, you have to learn how they want to live their life, and you try to help each other as much as you can. And I think we're kind of getting that little bit of a balance.
You know what it's called in Polish?
No.
Złoty środek.
Złoty środek.
The golden middle.
Is it?
Yeah.
I like that saying, the golden middle, złoty środek. So finding that golden middle is going to take a little bit of time, a little bit of negotiation, and people have to work things out.
We just have so much going on every single day. It's like, on the outside, it looks like we're just having a happy life, isn't it? We don't have to go to work, we sit at home, we have a coffee, we talk, we're on the phone a lot.
And I think people see that as a luxury, and they don't see actually behind the scenes how hard we work. You know, my diary is pretty much blocked out now. Every hour there's always something to do. And this we consider work, don't we? We don't consider this as, it's fun, don't get me wrong, we enjoy doing it, but we still consider it as work. So it's blocked in our diary as an appointment that we come together and do. But people outside don't see that. They see, oh, it's just making a silly little YouTube video or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's bang on the door, come and do this now. It needs doing. And it's like, well, we've kind of got work to do. So it's educating people a little bit, isn't it? And I think slowly they are seeing it as work, because they're seeing that actually it does pay us some money now. And we can earn an income from this. And they kind of like get it a little bit more. So they're giving us a bit more breathing space, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, when we first come here, you know, your parents would turn up quite a lot, which was nice. I'm not
It
going to
was
say
the novelty for
it's a
them
novelty
moving
to
out
them.
as
But now
well.
what I'm saying is they've worked out actually they're working, so we can't kind of walk in and you know just talk and have a coffee and that, because it is work. So it takes time and people get used to it. You know, if we was going to an office all day, we wouldn't have probably experienced, we'd have had a completely different experience, wouldn't we? Because no one's going to walk into our office and sit down at the desk and say, hey, Siema, gather and
Let's have a coffee,
I bought you
let's
some
have a
meat, I
shot,
bought you some this. Yeah,
oh yeah,
precisely,
potatoes were on sale.
Yeah, oh, don't get me wrong, it's fantastic when a mum and dad do come in, because
Oh,
they
we
usually
love
come
it.
with gifts, don't they? They come with, you look, this was on deal, and we got you this, and we got you this, and we're like, wow, thank you so much. But when we're working, it's, the first thought is, oh, we're just halfway through a video, and you've walked in, and you're boom, boom, boom.
Off we go.
Off we go. But now the boundaries are starting to be a little bit more, okay, acceptable. You know, they don't expect us to do things just like that. They don't turn up unannounced. They do know what we're doing roughly when we're doing it, and they give us that time. And I think it's working out really nicely, because we've got now us going to there and having some lunch, them coming over here, but in the
And it's
constraints
planned.
of
It's a little bit
planned.
more
I think-
scheduled, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
the thing.
but-
It's planned. Yeah.
Yeah, and it takes, what is it called, the teething problems?
Yeah, teething problems. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different country, it's a different culture, different dynamics. It takes a lot for us to get used to it as well, as much as it takes a lot for them to get used to it. And they've given us away this beautiful house. that pretty much everything that is done in this house has been thought about, has been planned, has been budgeted for, and so on. We're breaking most of the things upstairs. It's going to be completely different because we're making it ours. So they are a bit nosy. They want to make sure that we're doing a good job. But I love being here. I really, really do. It took me a long time to get used to being here. I'm not going to lie. I probably found it more difficult than you did.
Yeah, I think you did. But I found the drop in everything, and just literally you drop this now and you do that now. I found that really difficult, and I found it very frustrating, and I kind of couldn't get into a flow. And sometimes I thought, what's the point in me just even trying to work on what I want to work on? Because every 5 minutes we're just doing something else. But you know, you need to go through these times to understand, and you learn from it, and you need to sit down and talk about things that, you know, maybe you're not 100% happy with, so you can understand other people's point of view. You understand where they're coming from, and you have to understand that's their way of life. You know, they can't just change things overnight because a foreigner's in there and they adapt. You kind of have to work something out together. And I think slowly we're working things out together, and we're getting some common ground, and you will too. You know, if you come over here and you get really frustrated with the deadlines and the literally, boom, it has to be done now because you're not used to it, you just got to give it a little bit of time and understand their point of view. And eventually they will understand your point of view as well, and you'll find that, what's that word, that common ground, the golden...
Złoty środek.
Yeah, you'll find that. And say again?
Złoty środek.
Złoty środek.
Nie złoty, złoty.
Złoty środek.
Środek, yeah.
You'll find that golden middle, and life will become a little bit easier, and you'll be able to relax a little bit more. And I think I'm at that stage now where, you know, people have backed off a bit. It's not so much of a novelty that Lee and Aga are here. They are respecting our times and we're respecting theirs, and when they want something, they know we'll help. It's not that we're not going to help, but sometimes we just have to get our own stuff done first, and I think they're appreciating that. And the space we've got is helping us build the business now, and I think that's going to push us on to the next level. So life in Poland is wonderful. It is a little different. There are a lot of... You'll get a lot of looks if you're walking around in a t-shirt
and it's
when
minus
it's minus
26,
23. Yeah.
23, 25, 27, minus 33 in some of the parts of Poland.
You'll get a lot of confusion aimed at you if you won't drop everything you're doing and then work on something else when they want something done. It's not normal. You know, they expect things to be done, boom, there.
Yeah.
But if you persevere, you do your best, you always do help, and you just set your boundaries, then I think you're laughing there. What are you laughing about?
No, I'm just thinking like how true what you say is. And it's right, the boundaries, you set up the boundaries because it's your life at the end of the day. And you don't have to be fitting in to everything else. But when it comes to the two of us, and I ask you to do something, I do expect you to drop what you're doing and do it, because unless it was like really, really, really not necessary, I wouldn't ask you.
So if you've got a wife like hers, you'd still drop everything. You just do what she wants when she wants it. Happy life.
Happy life, yeah.
I think people actually would struggle less if they didn't work from home. If they worked in an office, if they worked from a location, it wouldn't be so difficult, because you would have your, okay, I've got to be in this office at 9 o'clock and I'm going to be there till 5 o'clock and then home, and people would respect that. They'd understand that a lot more. With us working from home, doing this crazy thing on the internet, people don't quite understand it.
No, and I don't think I did to some extent until recently, because we had lots of ding-dongs. You would just be sitting and, you know, from like the distance it looks like you're just doing FO and stuff, and we've got the builder who would go out of his way to get us some coal. He would load it into the car in good quality stuff, and then he asked me to get it out. It's too heavy because they're like big
really
sacks
heavy,
of the thingy, but he needs the car and he needs the space, and I'm asking you and you give me the log and like, no, I can't do it. Then I would get really annoyed because somebody was really kind, put his time, his effort, his money and stuff, and you just can't do it right now because you're just sitting in front of the PC.
But it's not just sitting in front of the PC.
I know.
And
but then how did we overcome it? We agreed that Monday is the day when we can do things around the house, when we can be going to get the stuff for the refurbishment, when we can have the appointments that are not related to what we do when it comes to work on the business and stuff. You want to work until 4 o'clock, so things that I can do are just get on with it. So you've got the space. You shut the door when you're busy, and maybe we do the sign, do not disturb kind of thing.
It's planning ahead, setting boundaries, making people aware, and talking. Communication. We always say to me, communication solves everything.
Every problem.
You know, it's hard for me to a certain extent because of the communication, but through our going through me learning and through people witnessing what's going on, people get it after a while. So it won't be easy when you first come, especially if you're working from home. There's going to be a lot of excitement, there's going to be a lot of buzz, people are going to be dropping in, people just wander in the house. It's really strange, but you get used to it.
Yes, but you also got to be mindful of one thing.
What?
You might be good to somebody, do like 50 odd things to help out and stuff, and there's that one thing that you don't do as you are expected to do. They forget about all the good stuff that you do.
Yeah. You remember when you didn't do that?
Yeah.
You went,
It's great, but...
yeah, but you didn't do that one thing. You're like, oh my days. But people pleasing. People pleasing here, I think, is a big thing. People very conscious of what other people think. They're very conscious of their reputation, their social standing, and they desperately want to people please. I don't care about any of that. It doesn't bother me. It just doesn't bother me. So for me, I want to please myself, I want to please you, I want to please the kids. That's the priority. That's the main focus. And everyone else outside of that is second. And when I've got time, then I'll do that. But that attitude is a little bit different to the norm, and it takes a little bit of getting used to for everybody. And if you're like me, you will struggle a little bit, but you set your boundaries.
Yeah.
You stay strict, you stay strong, you do what's good for you, and as you become a success here, people will then see it slightly differently, because they'll be like, okay, that's working. I can see what he's doing now. I can see the money coming in, I can see the happiness, I can see the fun, I can see everything they wanted to achieve. So you just got to keep going, haven't you?
Keep going.
Keep
Don't
going.
give up.
Don't give up. And if you don't give up, you keep going, you will have, I think, a wonderful life here in Poland.
Poland is great.
It is. And on that note, we'll see you next week.